What's up, guys? Arash Rahbar here, IFBB Pro. 3 weeks out of the Pittsburgh Pro, 5 weeks out of New York Pro, competing classic physique, new division that I'm very excited about. So a lot of people have been asking me what supplements I'm taking, and although you see a lot of stuff on this counter, I'm not taking too much. I'll go through what I take on a daily basis for you. I'm going to start with one of the most important things, in my opinion. This is Indigo 3G by Biotest. This is vanadil sulfate. And this is RALA, alpha lipoic acid. So I take these three with my carb meals. And what this does is it supports a healthy blood sugar level and helps utilize glucose. So what the hell does that mean? When we take in carbs, it floats around our bloodstream. And most likely if you're active, it gets burned off or it goes to muscle glycogen if you have some muscle on your frame. So this helps utilize the carbs. It helps transport the glucose is carbs once it's in the bloodstream, to the muscle. And I genuinely feel it's very effective. Even in the beginning stages of my diet, 3 months out, I'm having a lot of carbs. I notice I'm a little bit tighter, a little less soft with the amount of carbs when I have those three combined with my carb meals. Definitely helps utilize it. If you guys remember, one of the most popular supplements over 10 years ago by Muscle Tech was Cell Tech. I remember when it hit the market, it went haywire. It was like the biggest deal. All it was 10 grams of creatine monohydrate, but the magic was it came with 75 grams of dextrose, which is a carbohydrate, which is basically Gatorade. And back then, I think people didn't know what they know today. They didn't know to have carbs after their workout. So it also had alpha lipoic acid, which again helps shuttle train the carbs to the muscle. So you train, you do anaerobic activity, you become insulin sensitive, then you spike your insulin aggressively with this dextrose, this carbohydrate, and you're utilizing the creatine better. It becomes a freight train to the muscle along with the alpha lipoic acid. So in some degree, that's basically what I'm doing, except the carbs that I'm eating are not as fast acting as glucose, which are a little less likely to put on fat. I'm having those with my regular carb meals, with my cream of rice, with my white rice, with my yams, or whatever the case may be. So that's that. My vitamins, there's some things that aren't here that maybe I ran out of. I take a multi. A good multivitamin is very important. This is a life extension. It's not the cheapest multivitamin, but it's a good, well-rounded multivitamin. There's a lot of not over-the-counter, but off-the-rack multivitamins that are cheap by, whatever stores that sell them that aren't the best. They're not the best quality, and for us, we have such high output and we train so hard. We need a better quality multivitamin, sometimes higher dosages. B12, this is the regular CVS brand. I ran out. I got to order some a B complex. This is curcumin, again by Biotest. This stuff surprised me a lot. I take this for inflammation, aches and pains in my shoulder, elbow. I took that for the first time and I noticed overnight that the pain went away. Person to person is different. Some people will react better to a certain vitamin or supplement than others. Vitamin D3 is pretty much in my daily doses. NAC. NAC is an antioxidant. Cell support, promotes healthy immune. I take this stuff while I prep just because we tend to get run down, really tired with the low calories, heavy training, and cardio. Sometimes people will see this, like my dad will see this and be like, what is all this stuff you're taking? Why are you taking so much stuff? And the thing is that we push our bodies very hard. We're trying to always train to build muscle. I don't train in the gym for anything else but building muscle. We train very, very heavy and very intense, and we push ourselves to grow constantly all year round. If you're off season, you eat more, you do less cardio. If you're pre-contest, you do more cardio and you eat less. But in my opinion, we're in the gym for one reason: to promote muscle tissue growth and strength. So when you're pushing yourself that hard and you're doing cardio and you're low calories and you're at a deficit, you're eating less calories or just about the same calories that you're burning to lose weight, it's taxing on the body, and sometimes we need aid, and my Middle Eastern family say, oh, why don't you get it from vegetables? Why don't you get it from fruit? Well, it's not concentrated enough. For me to get it from fruit, I would have to eat 2 pounds of fruit. For me to get it from vegetables, I'd have to eat 10 pounds of vegetables. And along with the fruit, you get the sugar. The vegetables aren't bad, but you can only eat so much. You'll expand your stomach, and some vegetables are very, very starchy, and the carbs add up. So that's that. Oh, vitamin C. And this is something I want to share with you guys. This is L-theanine. L-theanine is found naturally occurring in tea. It's a calming agent, and that's why a lot of people think that tea doesn't have a lot of caffeine in it, when it does. Some teas have more caffeine than coffee do, but they have theanine in it, so it doesn't give you that jittery, shaky, feeling that coffee does. So why do I have this? Sometimes after the gym for my pre-workouts, which I do take pre-workouts, I'm gonna move on to that in a second, they're very strong nowadays, and you'll be shaky or you're jittery, and even sometimes you'll take a pre-workout 3 in the afternoon, you have a problem, you have a hard time sleeping at 10 o'clock at night. So this helps. If I leave the gym and I'm just wired and I'm still strung out, I'll have 1 or 2 of these, and it brings me down a few levels. So this is really good stuff. It's all natural. Now the pre-workout, I'm not a huge supplement guy, buying into these funky supplements, but pre-workouts for me, what they represent is 10 to 15% longer and harder workouts, so I have currently ESP. I just bought M1. It was recommended by Noah Siegel at Siege Fitness in Mineola, so I respect his opinion. He's a beast of an athlete, so I'm going to try this stuff. But they do have arginine and creatine and all that stuff in them. I mean, the dosages a lot of the times aren't enough, or the quality might not be that great. So, for me, these represent a better workout. Do I think I'm going to get bigger and fuller and grow muscle from them? No, but if they push my workouts harder, and I train harder, and I train longer, and I train heavier, yes, I will grow in turn. So I do take creatine. This is just a regular creatine. It's a German creatine by Animal Naturals. Again, like these 2 companies here, these were recommended to me by my good friend Ron Norman, bodybuilder and coach. Very knowledgeable, been around the industry for north of 20 years. It's just we believe it's a higher quality. It's not just some $10 creatine off the shelf. You pay a couple more dollars, but you're hoping that you get a better quality. So it's just regular creatine, nothing fancy. Citrulline malate, L-arginine. Some people, L-arginine messes their stomachs up. Some people, it works really well for them. I've noticed that citrulline, agmatine, they work well with me. I ran out of agmatine, but I use that also. So I use these in my pre-workout, and the creatine I'll keep for post-workout. After my workout, I have carbs, and I have the alpha-lipoic acid, like I told you guys. That's when I take the creatine. I feel like it's gonna give you a better absorption. Throughout the day, before cardio, before and during my training, I have glutamine. These are just 2 different types of glutamine, and branched chain amino acids. I also have them from the same company, Animal Naturals, but I ran out, so I'm waiting for it to come in. So branched chains and glutamine is just going to promote an anabolic state. It's going to help you not break down muscle and keep feeding your muscle throughout the day. So I will have it before cardio for sure if I do fasted cardio. And I'll have it during my workouts. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll just throw them in a gallon of water. So that gallon of water I drink throughout the day, I sip on. It's constantly giving me the branched chains and the glutamine throughout the day. One major supplement that's missing here that's pretty much benchmark for every bodybuilder is whey protein. I always have whey isolate on hand. I use it a lot for desserts and getting creative. When I'm about 5-6 weeks out of a show, I cut it out. You don't need to. It is a dairy product, so I stay away from dairy. I like to eat solid foods. I just like to eat real bare bones solid foods. I even cut the pre-workout and stuff out the last week. And this branched chain has flavors and sweeteners in it, so I cut this out too, and I'll have a plain branched chain. I just believe in keeping it very, very basic, clean, whole foods, nothing processed, no chemicals. It'll give you a more clear, crisp look, in my opinion. So that's that. Yeah, so the whey isolate, I think a good high quality whey isolate. And you got to read the back. A lot of times they say whey isolate, but it's not. It's concentrate, it's mixed blends. There's a lot of websites, a lot of information out there about various companies and who has the highest quality of whey, and you're gonna pay for it. You know, if you have a 10-pound jug of whey for $30, it's probably not gonna be good quality, you know? So look into the supplements that you're buying, make sure you're buying good quality, don't believe the hype. And nothing here or nothing we talked about is gonna make you a champion bodybuilder. None of this is gonna make a 20-30% difference in your physique. It just won't. It'll give you a little bit of an edge. If you're pushing hard and you're dieting and you're doing everything at 100%, it'll help you a little bit. Is it gonna make or break you? No. And if you're relying on this stuff, then you're doing it all wrong. You gotta have good fundamental training and nutrition, and the rest follows from there. I don't even recommend looking into supplements for people until they're a month or 2 months into training and dieting properly. And then if you wanna start with something, I'd say the number one supplement, the number one two things to get is creatine monohydrate and whey isolate. The whey isolate, after you train to get an immediate protein to stop muscle breakdown, or if you're a busy person, you can't get to eat a meal, or if you're a lot of people tell me I don't have time to cook 10 egg whites for breakfast. No problem, just in a blender, throw some oatmeal, throw a scoop of whey protein. If you're not dieting, throw a scoop of peanut butter. I could go for that right now. And some almond milk or skim milk or water, whatever. As I said, I don't have dairy, so I use unsweetened almond milk in my off season, not now. And that's a great quick shake, great quick meal, or you could cook it and put it in there. So it's good to have whey isolate on hand for those reasons. And I think that about sums it up. If you guys have any other questions on any supplements or anything you're taking or thinking of taking, please ask us below, comment, subscribe, and we'll do our best to answer your questions and get back to you. Thank you.